West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to roam now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice
touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here comes Marshall in motion right.
Let's go, charge. 53, Mike.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Moore, the man in motion. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The Panthers at 13-2 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On second down now, it's Roth. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except touchdown!
DJ Moore, 42 yards. And the Panthers are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush, talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 68 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Play action now, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff times. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
These two teams all tied after one. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
14's the mic. 14's the mic.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Anderson loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And the tackle by Kalen Barnes. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Forced out to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, Ren.
53, check 53. I'm going to run you off.
Ready, go.
Trying to get to the outside. This is McCaffrey. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. On play action, they'll throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I got two.
On the ball, set.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part at got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about, to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. On 2nd and 9, Prescott got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 33. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs. In the top 5 in the NFL, it's all a mindset. And I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
On play action, Prescott. Being chased out left. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line.
The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
He's got room at the 30.
And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Garibay on to attempt the point after.
It's good, and it is now 21-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, good return up, and I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They find some open field here. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And 22 more yards there and another first down.
Moore, the man in motion. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
And they work this out past the 25. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. third quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
That last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000, and Troy Aikman, he was about winning, because remember, he had Michael Irvin to throw it to. We had Emmitt Smith to hand it to. Just imagine if he was throwing it the way they throw it around nowadays. His numbers, boy, would they be sky high.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
He'll buy some time right. That is caught by Anderson.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can. I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And Prescott, his third interception. Dante Jackson picks it, and the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Tommy Tremble, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do. And there he goes, right side. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 75 yards. And the Cowboys are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth-quarter advantage. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay, so the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And able to steer clear of that first tackler as he works his way forward for about 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on third down.
Let me get a little nautical with you, partner, because to me, that looked like a feeding frenzy of sharks out there. As soon as that play imploded, they all smelled blood in the water. Everyone screaming downhill, trying to get in on the hit for a big loss.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ready. Red 38. Hey.
Moore, the man in motion.
Just like that. Just like that.
Black Ultra.
Back to throw now on first down. Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Striker 3-3.
36.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Again, McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian.
Doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after.
So we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 128 yards rushing.
Yeah, that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And they will take a knee here.
In the old days, pitch